Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the Fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another stout review. It's feeling very festive around here tonight. Finally went to storage, got all of our Christmas stuff. I was gone. I usually do it the day after Thanksgiving, but we were in Japan for Thanksgiving this year, so finally got around to doing it. Christmas trees going up, things are getting decorated inside. There's Christmas music on, the fire's going. It's actually cold today. It's chilly out in the garage. And we're in the middle of Stoutmas, so I'm feeling very much in the holiday spirit. Tonight we're checking out a beer that I completely forgot I had. This is the 2016 vintage of Darkstar November. Bottlelogic Brewing, Anaheim, California. I think I got this beer from my man John from Four Brewers. I think he sent this a couple years ago. I was looking through my wine fridge tonight, figuring out what I wanted to drink, and I saw this and I was like, I thought I drank this a long time ago. So I think they actually just did the 2018 release of this past week, maybe in the last 2 weeks. So it's kind of fitting, appropriate. I don't know. 13.8% alcohol by volume. It says Imperial Stout brewed with molasses and rye and aged in bourbon barrels. I'm a fan of Bottlelogic beer. This thing says World Beer Cup Silver Medal in 2016 for barrel aged strong stout. So there you go. They do a variant of this called Red Eye November, which is this beer with coffee. And that, I think they just released both of them. So we'll see what I don't think I've ever had this beer. We'll see what it has with 2 years on it. Why not? Let's get crazy. We're using our Bottlelogic Tiku that John sent because, pro tip, beer tastes better in proper glassware. If you don't believe me, try it. Let's see what she's got. This pours on the lighter side, I guess. I could smell that when I opened it, so it's plenty potent on the old nose. We've reviewed a couple Bottlelogic beers this year. We reviewed Fundamental Observation. We reviewed Roll for Initiative. Was there anything else we reviewed this year? I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. But Pitch Black in the Glass. This has an awesome, like that mocha khaki color head. I love when stouts have like that super dark brown head. The head is dissipating very quickly. It was about half a finger. It's kind of foamy, sudsy, soapy. When we swirl this at near 14%, there's alcohol lake streaking down. Looks fire in that proper glassware. So I'm not a big molasses person. I don't eat things with molasses. I don't cook with molasses. I'm not like a desserty sweet person. So I enjoy rye beers. They can get spicy. But yeah, see what this one's got. Ooh, this smells like a spicy kind of some sort of cookie. I think there's cookies with molasses, right? Are they like ginger snaps or something? What's the cookie that has molasses in it? Maybe I'm just like, I have that on the brain since we're doing Christmas stuff inside. But this is very much fudgy, and it has that rye spiciness. It's got this killer, like, I don't know if it's the spiciness it's giving off, like this almost like charred kind of oak thing. Yeah, it's fudgy. It smells pretty boozy, I will say that. The last two nights we reviewed a 12% beer and then a 10% beer that didn't have like that. I guess one of them was barrel aged and the other one was not barrel aged, right? Machiavelli was not barrel aged. Barrel aged Imperial Bean Smells Like Bean Spirit was barrel aged, but this has like that bourbon heat to it. But yeah, a good amount of it is. It's like charred. Think of like taking a oak and just charring it, and like that kind of burnt wood smell. It's got that spice, and it's got like a lot of this. It almost gives off like a cinnamon thing, which is weird, but I guess there's like a good amount of like roasted malts too. This nose is pretty complex. I'm smelling a lot of things, and I'm not used to it. I don't review a lot of stouts. Yeah, it's got a good like desserty kind of fudgy thing too. So let's go and taste it, John. Cheers. Thank you, sir. Ooh, that's good. It does. It almost reminds me of like a gingerbread cookie or something. And it might be that molasses. There's a good amount of that sweetness kind of on the finish, but it's not cloying at all. It's like a perfect amount of sweetness that kind of balances out the spiciness from the rye. This has a lot of bourbon characteristics for me. It's almost like you took a sip of a glass of whiskey. It reminds me of that. It has that heat to it, just like I was smelling on the nose. On the finish, it just kind of lingers on your tongue, and it mixes. It might be the rye that's giving off. I tried to get into bourbon a couple years ago, and I didn't drink enough of it. But for me, when I drink bourbon, it's like this spicy, like biting kind of on your tongue kind of a thing. If you guys drink bourbon, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. It gives that with the rye spice to it, so it reminds me of drinking, like, what's the Eagle, whatever, that rye spicy whiskey. It reminds me of that. Up front, it's got a good amount of that fudgy kind of chocolate. It's desserty. And as that chocolate kind of goes across your tongue, it does this cool transition from like this sweet kind of cakey, like fudgy chocolate, and gets into that spiciness with the sweet molasses that kind of gives you that gingerbread kind of cookie thing, and finishes with the rice spice, the bourbon. We smelled like that kind of charred wood, charred oak. That's on the finish of that too. It's woody. There's a little bit of warmth in my chest drinking this, but it's almost 14%, so that's expected. But this isn't something you're gonna labor through. This is, I'll go inside, sit by the fire, decorate the Christmas tree, and be stoked for the rest of the evening. This beer is fantastic. I'm guessing when this was fresh 2 years ago, just with the amount of bourbon characteristics, this was probably pretty hot. Laying this down for 2 years, not intentionally like I did, might have done this beer wonders. It's really, really good. I enjoy this a lot. Near 14%, the mouthfeel is not chewy. I like chewy stouts when they're high alcohol like that. But it's fine. I mean, it doesn't detract from the beer in any way. It would be fun if you were chewing on it. If it was like that super full, viscous kind of mouthfeel, this would be like in that mind-blowing thing. But I dig the spiciness. It does. It reminds me of like having gingerbread cookies. And I don't know if anyone else gets that from this beer. Don't know if it's the age that did that. Who knows? You taste what you taste. You smell what you smell. You like what you like. I really, really like this beer. This is a world-class barrel-aged stout for me. I could see why it won the silver medal at the World Beer Cup in 2016. This for me is like a 96. Really, really dig it. So yeah, that's Darkstar November from 2016, courtesy of my man John at 4 Brewers. Check him out if you are not already subscribed to his channel. 4 Brewers has an amazing podcast. He does killer beer reviews, all that good stuff. So if you guys have had it, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Cheers.
Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the views so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoe.